Welcome to Emotionally Healthy Legacy. My name is Elizabeth and I am a mom of 3 boys. My goal here is to educate you intentional ways that you can become an emotionally healthy mom. Ways that you can break destructive patterns that have been happening for years and how you can leave an emotionally healthy legacy with your children. Hello. Welcome back, ladies. Today I want to talk about what do we do in daily moments in life when things seem really overwhelming and it just seems like we're going to lose our marbles and it feels heavy and we're about to just blow up because it's just hard and overwhelming. This is the topic for today. I can tell you what I do that is helpful for me, that when things are happening that are very overwhelming and really difficult and heavy, and in the moment I feel like I am pulled into many directions by my children. Sometimes there are moments like that and feels like this one needs me and this one's crying and this one needs help, and it just gets really hard and you feel like you're pulled in all these directions and you can't help anybody, and then you actually need a moment. So I want to encourage you, if everyone is physically safe, it is okay to step away and say, Mommy's going to be back in a little bit to help you. I can't help you right now. I need to take a short break. Sometimes we need to just step back, take a breath, and walk away for a little bit. If physically possible, during the situation, if you're at home and things are really stressful and overwhelming with the kids, please, if you can, put everything on hold and take a break. You cannot help and attend your kids if you are just about to lose it yourself. Sometimes we need to step away and take a moment for ourselves. And when I do that, for me personally, I use deep breaths a lot because it calms my nervous system down and it helps me distress. So sometimes I will just lay down on the bed or lay down on the floor and set a timer for 5 minutes, and I will take some deep breaths to help myself calm down. So if you can, step back for a little bit and take some breaths to calm yourself down. The second thing you want to do is focus on one thing that is in your control right now that you can do. So it could be your mindset that you can change and shift. It could be setting a boundary, or it could be something practical that you need to get done. For example, make dinner. This is the one thing that I need to do. If it seems super overwhelming and super stressful, I've had moments like that where I do have frozen pizza that I will just whip out and put in the oven because it's just too much. Making dinner right now feels like too much. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay that my kids will have pizza once in a while, because to save myself some of that stress and overwhelm, I will do that. Sometimes we'll have, cereal for dinner, which is rare, but we do, because when things are really overwhelming, sometimes it's worth to save the stress level. What if it's, an activity that you can focus on, that if you had something planned for tonight and it just feels like too much and so overwhelming to go there and it's so heavy, if it's possible, it's okay to cancel it. If this is like a gathering you were supposed to go with your friends, if you actually want to go, that's one thing. But if you don't want to go and it feels overwhelming and heavy, if it's okay, if it's possible, maybe cancel it for your mental well-being. Because it's either you running around with with like a chicken with your head cut off, or it's taking something off your plate that can help you calm down when you're really overwhelmed. Another thing I want to mention is when we are overwhelmed, if we focus on controlling other people or focus on things that are out of our control during the situation, we get even more triggered and even more overwhelmed. So sometimes it's really helpful to focus on things that I can control. The next thing that I do, if it's possible in the moment, of course, sometimes it's not because you have little kids and your spouse is not there. But if your spouse is around and if your kid's a little bit older and they can understand, you can ask for help. Asking for help is not a weakness. I personally never really used to struggle with asking for help because I'm like, I can either be super overwhelmed and stressed out, or I can ask for help and share some responsibility and not feel as overwhelmed and stressed. With my oldest right now, he can load the dishwasher. I can ask him for help with that and say, hey, hon, I really need your help right now. Please help mommy out and load the dishwasher. If he says, I don't want to, I don't feel like it, I'm like, I understand. Sometimes I don't feel like doing things either. But right now, I really, really need your help. And if you do that, you're going to get a reward. Because sometimes, truly, we don't feel like doing things, and we do need help from our kids at times. If your spouse is around, letting them know that, hey, I'm having a hard time. I'm really overwhelmed and stressed right now. I really need your help. Can you please help me with, and you give them a specific thing that they can do. Also, some days are just really, really hard, and all we can do is just survive through them and get done with a day and just crash in bed and just start fresh the next day. Some days are like that, but other days we can do something that can kind of shift our mindset and focus on what we can control. Focus on the one thing that you can do right now that will decrease that overwhelm and stress, that can make it easier for you, and ask for help. What I do with my kids, oftentimes in the evenings, if we had a great day and things are well, I tuck them in, I read with them, I pray with them. But if it's a really, really rough and overwhelming day, I have to set boundaries with my kids and say, this is what I say. I communicate with them and say, Mom is having a hard day. Today, I need your help to blank, blank, blank. I will not lay down with you because I need some space to calm down to feel better. This is not your fault. I'm just having a hard time and I need some space. I still love you and I want to spend time with you. I'll take some time tomorrow to, read a book with you or whatever. I communicate with my kids when I'm having a hard time, when I'm overwhelmed, and I ask for help because that's what I want them to do when they're having a hard time, and ask for help instead of blowing up and screaming and yelling. So that's what I try to do with my kids. Then when I take my time to calm down, I focus on one thing that is in my control that I can change to make it a little bit easier for myself. Sometimes it's change the way I'm thinking about the situation. Sometimes it's setting a boundary. Sometimes it's I pick one thing that I can change and do tonight that will help me feel less overwhelmed. Sometimes it's canceling going somewhere because I feel overwhelmed and stressed and it's not serving me right now in the moment. The other thing that I do is when I calm down, I come downstairs, I communicate with my kids. I'm having a hard time right now and I need your help. Please help mommy with this. And I give them a specific task that they can do. Obviously, if you have little toddlers and they're super, super little, it's just a stage. They're going to grow up. They're going to get better. It's going to get a little bit easier, but they can't really help you. It is what it is in that moment. What you can do is if your spouse is home, ask them for help. If not, sometimes it's just one of those days. You just need to survive through it and just start over fresh tomorrow. But if your spouse is around, asking them for help and communicating, hey, I'm having a hard time. I'm overwhelmed because of this and this. It would be really helpful if you could do this. And you actually give them a task for something they can do. And the last thing is it's okay that sometimes you have to say no to your kids and meeting their needs. Like for me in the evenings, if I had a hard day, If things were tense and heavy, sometimes I have to tell my kids, no, I cannot lay down today with you. I love you, but I can't be with you right now because I need a break. I'm not feeling well. I need to take some time to myself to feel better. And my kids have learned that that is okay because that is becoming more normal for them. They have heard it multiple times before, so it's not unusual to them. And they sometimes even say, hey, I need some time alone. I need some space to myself. And if they're having a hard time, I will tell them, do you need my help or do you want to take some space for yourself? And sometimes they choose to have some space. These are the things that I try to do when I feel really overwhelmed. And the scenario I was kind of picturing is if you're making dinner and you have little ones that are screaming and yelling and needing you, and this kid is melting down and that one is melting down, as much as you can help it, if everyone is physically safe, it's okay for your kids to cry a little bit. You can't always meet their needs. And it's okay for them to know that because in reality, you can't always meet their needs. You're not always going to be there around. And if you are really, really struggling yourself, you're not going to be doing a great job meeting their needs. So taking time for yourself and then coming back to them and then helping them with whatever they're struggling with, it's okay to do that. It's okay for your kids to see that they can't always have you every single time they're struggling. That's life. That's normal. And it's all right. Nothing's going to happen to them if they wait 5 extra minutes for you to calm down before you come and attend to their needs. It's okay. You have to meet your needs first at times before you can help your children. Also, one more thing is I've had times where I put my kids to bed early because I'm having a really hard time. I've had days like that. It's easier in the wintertime because it's darker outside, so it's easier to kind of fool them with that. But I've had times where I had to tell them, I need you to go to bed right now. Because mommy's having a hard time, mommy's having a hard day, it will be really helpful for you to go to bed right now. If they say, I don't want to, I'm like, okay, then you can sit and play with your toys for a little bit until this timer rings. And after that, you need to go to bed. Setting limits, setting expectations. It is what it is sometimes. We all have rough days. We all have hard days. It's just the way we handle them. And if we can communicate that with our kids and ask them for help. Because when they're having a hard day, I'd rather have them communicate that with me and ask for help versus scream and take it out on everybody else. And in order for them to learn to do that, I first need to model and show that to them. All right, ladies, this is it for today. If something that you heard today is helpful for you and you think it might be helpful for another mom, I would encourage you to share this episode with her, and maybe something will stand out to her and she can apply some of these tools and skills in her own life. And I will see you next time. If you're a mom that struggles with handling her challenging emotions in a healthy way, listen up. I got a tool for you. If you go in the show notes of this podcast, you will see a link where you can sign up for a 5-day free mini course. And in that mini course, you get to learn actual practical things that you can do in the moment and outside of the moment to be more patient and calm so you're not as overwhelmed, so you're not as stressed, and actual ways to learn to de-stress yourself and calm your nervous system down. How often do we hear that we shouldn't react, we should respond? And the problem is, well, how? In the moment, I don't know how because I'm so overwhelmed and so triggered. In this mini course, you get to learn the how. I am so excited that I have these skills that I can share with you. So go in the show notes, click on the link, enter your email, and then you can start the 5-day free mini course.